Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? New Magic the Gathering logo. Oh yeah, and Worlds happened. Welcome back, everybody, to Commanding Magic. It is Season 2, Episode 13. Travis and Brandon here, and it is time to talk about what the hell am I looking at? What is this, Brandon? This isn't what the Magic the Gathering logo looks like.
Not right now. So this was announced and showed off on the first day of Worlds last week.
Which I completely missed out on. I had no idea it was even happening.
I was working the first 2 days, and I had the third day off, so I got to watch the finals, which was good. We'll get to that in a minute, though.
Yeah, so just to kind of bring it all in here and just like we're delving right into it in a way that we have never delved right into it before. I don't want to talk about anything else today. There's plenty of stuff for us to go over, and this is kind of like numero uno right here because we have a Magic the Gathering like official logo change. We've had the same logo for so long, and now they're just dropping it on us.
We've had the same logo for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, so just to kind of go over like a little bit of a brief history of the logo. Did you read through this article at all? The Raising a New Banner one? You want to give us a brief overview of the ideas of the logo and why it changed and just kind of what we've seen over the years?
So basically, you got your first logo, which was the original Magic logo, the one that you see on the back of your cards.
Yeah.
If you ever actually look at the back of your cards. That was there because it was just a high fantasy kind of logo. It was what Magic kind of represented at the time.
And still does, in my opinion.
So that lasted until 1999, as according to this article. And then it changed just slightly. Instead of being blue, it turned like a gold.
Yeah, is that just kind of like a marketing thing, just because it pops more? You think?
No, it in the article explains that it was just changing, with Magic changing because Magic was entering kind of a new era out around that time.
Yeah, I really like the kind of way that they kind of got the little bit of a feel of what was going on at the time of the logos. That first piece of artwork, that's Fast Bond, right?
Yep.
And then we have Rocks as the second one. Really cool. So the first logo lasted from 1993 to 1999. The second logo from 1999 to 2015. And it's funny because I didn't even really necessarily get a grasp of the next change.
Yeah.
They kind of made it the mythic rare color. That's kind of what I got from this.
That's kind of exactly what they did.
And it's more kind of polished. If you look at the one above it, it has like a more of like a I don't want to say like a rock texture kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely still got like that fantasy-esque kind of look to it.
But when they changed it in 2015, it's very smooth. It seems very ironed out. It looks really, really fresh. And I guess that's arguably part of a good or bad rebranding, like that you don't really notice it, but it's still appealing.
Yeah, because honest to God, I never knew that was the official Magic logo.
I think I remember seeing it a couple times and just kind of thinking, oh, something about that looks different, but I may have just attributed it to whatever like set or whatever supplemental product I was looking at the time, and was just thinking to myself, it's fine, I guess. But it's funny because I'll look at the back of a Magic card right now, and I see it with that blue text, and it's never. I don't think I've ever had the thought in my mind that the text on the back of a Magic card is blue, but in the logo it's yellow.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I've ever made that connection. It's never been something that, I don't know. Weird, right?
So, I mean, as far as, the game's going, I don't think the back of a Magic card will ever change.
No, and it actually says in the article specifically too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says there is no current or future plan to change printed card backs or to take away your ability to collect and shuffle up cards from all sets and eras.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Dragon Ball Z card game. When they went from Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball GT, they completely changed the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to play with sleeves?
Yeah, if you wanted, you were allowed to mix the sets, but you had to play with sleeves if you mixed them. Because the card backs were completely different.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost like, well, no, because then you have the checklist cards and sets with double face cards in them.
Oh yeah, and so I noticed this image down here of Kaladesh that kind of had a question mark. What's up with that?
I don't know. I kind of skimmed over that one.
I'm trying to just kind of bring something up here real quick to show everybody. Just kind of what I was saying before about the difference in the card backs being so different, and how it's absurd. Like, I don't understand how that got through marketing and branding and stuff. I don't know if they just were like, we are making a new card game, like times are changing and it's time. So up on the screen here, I'm actually just putting real quick, I'm dragging in an image of the back of the original Dragon Ball Z trading card game back, which is great. It's got Korin's Tower and Shenron coming out of it with the Dragon Ball Z logo. It looks great. It's how it was for so long. I played this game for a long time, and then they changed to Dragon Ball GT, and I remember there was a bunch of hype around it. That they're changing stuff up. They're changing the card layout. There's new mechanics. Like, some of the rules are changing. And then I saw the back, and it's the Dragon Ball GT logo with a one-star Dragon Ball kind of stylistically done above it, and the back is red and silver, and just is nothing like the original.
Yeah.
But they still said, you can play these together. It's fine. Just play with sleeves.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, I digress. So then at Worlds, we get revealed this new Magic the Gathering logo.
Yep.
And it's the Planeswalker symbol that we've become accustomed to over the years.
That's on almost every kind of Magic product you can go buy.
And it's just with a new layout for the text for the logo. It's not the same font.
I think that's what's the most divisive thing here, is that the writing's different.
It seems to me, it just seems very sterile to me. Whereas opposed to the original logo, where it was fun, it was very fantasy, and even when we got to the logo change for 2015, it still retained the original font. They just messed around with the colors a little bit, so it was fine. But we've come a long way.
Yeah, it just looks completely different. It doesn't feel like Magic,
Yeah, and maybe it's just something that we'll kind of have to get used to. And in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter for us that much.
How are we really seeing this? So it's not really going to affect us like before, going from the 1999 to 2015 logo change.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I had no idea.
So I'm just kind of like having a little glance over this article here, and they're kind of talking about how this new logo is going to be a powerful it says it's going to be a powerful tool, this new logo is, because we have the Planeswalker symbol, and it's going to be for every Magic event, it's going to be there. And yeah, I mean, it's fine. I suppose
until 10 years from now when they change it again.
I suppose that every large company approaches a point where they say, hey, we've had this for so long, what are the benefits and the downsides of us doing a little bit of rebranding as far as logo changes go. I mean, we see it happening with places like Starbucks, we see it happening with Coke and Pepsi over the years, and at the end of the day, I mean, I don't drink soda anymore, but if I did drink soda, like the logo wouldn't change my desire to drink the soda. So,
but every now and then you would look at something and like, hey, this label's different.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it was just a big piece of news, something that I don't think anybody was expecting. So
no.
We
would have had the same like reaction if, a card from, let's say, Rivals got spoiled at Worlds.
Yeah.
We would have had kind of as big of news, because it would have probably been like one of the big mythic planeswalkers of the set.
Yeah.
Or it would have been, the Burning Sun Shrine thing, whatever.
Yeah, sure. They also mention a little bit lower in the article about how you may have already been introduced to the new logo's Fraternal Twin, which is the Magic the Gathering Arena logo, which is done in the same style.
Honest to God, I didn't notice it then either.
I didn't think anything of it.
Nope.
Yeah, so whatever, man.
Yep.
But speaking of Worlds, that happened this weekend.
It did.
Like I said, I was none the wiser. I was out hiking, and I got back into the car after the hike, and to a text from Brandon saying, "Yo, Worlds is going on right now." I was like, "Oh, shit, Worlds, okay." So I guess just kicking off the bat on the Worlds discussion. Grats to William Jensen.
Yep.
I'm really not. Is it Jensen? I feel bad for not knowing. Okay. William Jensen. So you said that, how much of Worlds did you watch exactly?
I watched from the very beginning of the Final Four. So the semifinals.
And what was it like? What was the meta?
It was actually interesting to watch. I didn't sit here on my computer or anything. I actually watched and just was a spectator, which I hardly do with say a Pro Tour or something, but I was actually very interested in watching the Pro Tour or in the Worlds as it went on.
Yeah. I really, really enjoy watching Magic the Gathering events. Same goes for things like Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that kind of esports, and this isn't really esports, but it's just, to me, it's a sport. It's fun to watch. I don't know. I'll watch this, and then I'll change the channel. Well, I don't channel. I'll go to another YouTube video of watching Worlds of Bowling. You know what I mean? It's all I get the same amount of enjoyment.
Yeah.
So William Jensen, and has he been kind of an up and coming player? No? Yes?
No. He's a pretty well established player.
Oh, okay. I feel really bad, but there's very few pros that I know the really big names, but beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't either. I just know that he, I've seen his name in a lot of Pro Tours.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to RP out this little article here for you, going over the Sunday coverage. I'm going to do the best I can, and we're going to see how it goes. And this ends with William Jensen, along with some other people that will be mentioned in the article, and their kind of their turnout, their ending, how they placed. What am I even saying right now? But here we go. So this is for Sunday coverage of Worlds 2017. So, the curse of the Peach Garden Oath has been broken. William Huey Jensen rose to the top of the 2017 Magic the Gathering World Championship field and never surrendered his lead. While most of the 24 competitors traded blows, Jensen went on a tear, winning 12 matches in a row before finally taking his first loss near the end of Saturday. As Sunday's play began, Jensen and his friends and teammates Reed Duke and Owen Turtenwald, along with his family from Boston, cheering him on as he marched up against Singapore's Kelvin Chu in the semifinals and then Spain's Javier Dominguez in the finals. After navigating some difficult games with Timor Energy against Dominguez's Ramonap Red deck, Jensen emerged triumphant in 4 games, breaking the curse his close friends faced in the finals of previous World Championships. The Bostonian's performance earned him $100,000, the trophy, and the title of one of the game's all-time greats. Jensen is joined by Team Musashi, featuring Yuya Watanabe, Shota Yasuoka, Kentaro Yamamoto, Yuki Ichikawa, and Teruya Kakume, and Ken Yukihiro as trophy winners this weekend. The Japanese All-Star team took home trophies as winners of the inaugural Pro Tour Team Series Championship. I've been doing this for 20 years, Jensen said, when asked about what it means being the world champion and to do it in his hometown. It's been a lot of time and a lot of hard work. I'm happy and I'm proud, and I'm happy I could do it here. It took a lot of hard work, and Jensen's time paid off. Congratulations once again to Jensen on his on his win and his title.
Please read those names again in that voice. I mean,
Yuya Watanabe, Shota Yasuoka, Kentaro Yamamoto, Yuki Ichikawa, Teruya Kakume, and Ken Yukihiro. That's right.
Well done.
Why am I not on the coverage team? I would cast my matches like that.
Yeah, right? You'd be the best.
Yeah. The best of
Apply
both
today.
worlds. Oh, and briefly to touch on this really quick, that I confirmed it with you, right, Brandon, that Paul Cheon is joining the coverage team.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was actually on the coverage team of Worlds.
Oh, that's really cool.
Him and LSV were,
Oh,
and some other dude.
like together?
Were actually, yeah, they were on the coverage together watching the final match.
Wow. Am I just ignorant and he's always been on it? Or he's been on it for a while? Or is this his first time?
He recently joined.
Oh, okay.
I think he was on a Pro Tour
Gotcha.
before, probably Pro Tour Hour of Devastation.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. There's the World's coverage. And just scrolling down through this article here, you see we have a nice image here of Team Musashi, all of them with their trophies. And we see the competitors from this year's Worlds, which, if I'm perfectly honest, when I scroll through it, I recognize some names, but I just don't know some of these people. So just to go through here, I recognize Sam Black. I recognize Paulo Vitor Damaderosa. I recognize Reed Duke and Martin Yuza and Eric Froelich, Brad Nelson, of course, Sam Party, Owen Tutenrold, Jerry Thompson, Josh Utter-Layton, Yuya Watanabe, Shota Yasuoka, and that's it. These other people I'm not too familiar with, and I'm sure that's just me not keeping up too much in the scene. So,
I mean, I don't keep up too much either.
Yeah.
It's just, I really only keep up with Pro Tours.
yeah, part of me kind of wishes that I would, but at the same time, I'm happy when I get to watch matches with, the people that I already know and love.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I don't watch all the coverage for every tournament ever.
No.
Every now and then I'll pop on a semifinals or a finals, or if a deck matchup seems good, I'll pop it on for a while. So, skimming through the deck lists here, we see, as I said in the article, that William Jensen was playing Teamer Energy, which is a deck that I'm super interested in. I think it's a really cool. I don't know.
It's interesting.
I was skeptical about Energy when we were first getting Kaladesh and Ether
Well, that's because
revealed.
we were talking about it in a Commander sense,
Yeah.
where we can only play one ofs.
So I guess
You can play 3 ofs and 4 ofs.
becomes a lot more effective. Yeah. So you got your Long Tusk Cubs, your Rogue Refiners, Glory Bringers, of course, doesn't deal with energy, but still an amazingly powerful card. Harness Lightning, Abrade, Magma Spray, Attune with Ether, which has some awesome artwork. I really like the artwork on Attune with Ether. And then Josh Utter-Layton playing Blue-Black Control with Scarab God, which Brandon actually just let me know that Scarab God is actually kind of a finisher in the control deck.
Yep.
Along with Torrential Gear Hulk, of course, because that card has just been a freaking beast.
Since it came out.
Got your spot removal and Fatal Push, your Sensor for some, and your Essence Scatter and your Disallow. Oh my god, there's just so many counter spells in here. I could go on forever. And then there was Ramanap Red playing a Singleton Chandra Torch of Defiance. What is this, Commander? Come on.
Yeah, right.
But it just seems like oh, okay, I think I remember seeing this deck in some coverage. It's just a very,
one drop,
very...
one drop, two drop, two drop, three drop, four drop.
Yeah, just a very fast red deck that we're kind of accustomed to seeing that pops up all the time. And then Kelvin...
I enjoy seeing red decks in the finals.
Yeah, sure. I feel like they come out in every format, but it's not very often, I think, that they really kind of go the distance. Just recently, there's been a few times where they have, but it's funny to see it. It's funny for me to see it rise to the top.
My favorite one still being, what was it, like, Atarka Red.
Oh, right.
It was with Goblin Rabblemaster.
Yeah. So we've got Kelvin Chu rounding out the top 4 with blue-black control as well, running what appears to be a similar build, except we do see here running Vraska's Contempt, which is...
There's also one more copy of the Scarab God than the other one.
Oh, it looks like they had it backwards. So there are 2 and 3 for Josh Utter-Layton, and then Kelvin Chu is 3 and 2. So... But yeah, so that's pretty much as far as I really know how to go in Worlds coverage.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it yet. I plan to eventually, but for any sort of like cliffhanger moments or like real nail-biting, edge of your seat types of plays, I will unfortunately not be your source for that.
So the last like couple minutes of the very last game in Worlds was the like craziest you'd ever see.
Oh, really?
It was one of those moments where you see in,
take me through it. Explain it to me in such a way.
The craziest moments you see in Magic.
Explain it to me in such a way where I'll be amazed without having to watch it.
I don't think I could do that.
Okay, well.
I
guess I'll just have to go watch it.
You really should.
Damn, I'll have to go watch Magic Worlds. The hell is this?
But, like where those moments where it's down to the wire. It's either I win or you win. And, the dude revealed his hand to William Jensen. He was like, look, this is what I got, which was 2 Karizev Skyship Raider. 2 in his hand. And he had the dinosaur on the field that when a creature enters the battlefield under a player's control, it deals damage to them. So he couldn't play the Karizevs because he would kill himself.
Oh.
So, because, the trigger with Ragavan, and that counts as a creature entering the battlefield, so it would kill himself with all of that. So he got William Jensen down to 1 life, and he was at 4. He was on the last draw. All he needed was a mountain, okay, to win that game. He had gone almost the entire game just playing the Ramanap, land, which pings you every time you have to use it to make a mountain or make a red mana. And so he hurt himself a lot.
Interesting.
And this isn't Commander where you got that 40 life total and that's kind of irrelevant. So it gets down to where he only needed 1 mountain off the top to win the game. And he revealed his hand. It's like, look, this is what I got. I don't have it. And then he looked like he stood up. And he took the card off his deck, put it face down, looked at it, and then just stood there for a second, and then flipped it over, and it wasn't a mountain.
It reminds me of that one, of the one...
Where the dude played Char and won the game.
I think it was Lightning Helix.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find that real quick.
Revealed a Lightning Helix off the top, and everybody just goes crazy.
Yeah, everyone goes nuts. Yeah, here's that happening.
Something red.
Something red.
Would have worked if it wasn't for that Jitte.
He can't even.
Are you playing it?
Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah.
I can't see it, so I'll just I know what it is. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see, where does it happen? It's like an
aggro
aggro match,
and Lone watch
Or that.
It's like in the top 10 best plays in MTG.
Yeah.
Come on, Dak. What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, Helix!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He had it!
Yeah.
Brett Jones is through to finals!
So there you go. There's lighting.
It was
Helix.
it was one of those moments,
Yeah.
and I said it to Heather because we were watching, and I was like, if that had have been the mountain, that would have been the fastest fucking slam on the table card you would have ever seen.
Just throw it at your opponent. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
You
So
get disqualified, but
Oh yeah.
right?
Would it be worth it? I don't know. So yeah, that's Worlds coverage, and that's wrapped up, and that's how it went. Once again, congratulations to William Jensen and to Team Musashi for their wins at Worlds 2017. However, we don't play 60 card. Who plays that?
Right? Not yet.
Brandon linked me to a Tumblr post from Wizards of the Coast, I guess, where they decided is where they were going to put their MTGO 1v1 ban list for Commander.
That's where I found the link to it first, too. So.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's somewhere else. Like, comment, subscribe if you could tell us where it actually is.
I'm sure it is, but I couldn't find it.
But here it is. So, effective October 11th, which is today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, the following cards are banned in MTGO 1v1 Commander. Baral, Chief of Compliance, Demonic Tutor, Emrakul the Anstorn, Enlightened Tutor, Imperial Seal, Mystical Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, and then cards removed from the ban list include Arkham Dagson and Yisan the Wandering Bard.
So screw you and your tutors.
Yeah, they don't like tutors, and they also don't like Emrakul or Baral.
Emrakul makes sense. I mean, Emrakul's Emrakul.
Yeah, so let's...
I think it's just getting banned from, like... They didn't specify where they're banned as a commander or anything.
Gotcha.
So I don't know about that.
So we'll kind of go through this a little bit like we did in our last Commander Bannings episode. This seems to affect us a little bit less, I think, just because I think this seems to be specific to MTGO because it doesn't specify otherwise.
Yep, this is Wizards handled it themselves. They talked to the rules committee a little bit about bannings and all that before they go through with anything. And they do all these bannings. This is controlled by Wizards.
Gotcha. So
this isn't... I mean, the rules committee has nothing to do with this.
So as far as all of the tutors go, of which there were 5, that's 5 tutors. Let's see, 2 black tutors. No, 3 black tutors. 1 blue and 1 white. So the reasoning is as follows. Efficient tutors were one of the big question marks in the initial ban list. Over time, decks have gotten more and more consistent and brutal in a way that we've clearly heard players are not enjoying. Our hope is that by lowering the consistency with which the interactive decks can find the perfect answer to the situation, and the combo decks can kill... Find the perfect answer, and the combo decks can kill. The format will open up more, and the decks will play out more differently from game to game. I agree with this. It's one of the reasons why I don't play with a lot of tutors. One of the reasons that I like Commanders so much is because of the variety of cards that you see. Because in a Commander game, you're probably only going to see like a fourth of your deck. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Like
depends on how much draw you got, and
And this just applies to casual, I guess, because if you are competitive, then you probably are running a lot of cards like this, and to each their own. But it creates a more fun experience for me as a player.
I mean, land tutors are about as far as I'm going to go.
Oh yeah, I can't not have land tutors. I can't play the game without those. So, but specifically when they highlight the bit about getting the perfect answer. I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Tell us why Baral, Chief of Compliance, got hit with the hammer.
Hold on.
Oh, you don't have the article up?
No, I did, but then it messed up.
Oh, sure you did.
It did, I promise. I just had it open. Okay, so Baral. Baral is a commander who comes down extremely early in the game and warps the game around him in a significant way. The cost reduction he offers covers one of the main drawbacks of counterspell heavy decks, because it cuts off the avenue of overloading the Baral deck multiple spells in the same turn. So what are you playing, Storm?
Right.
That's what it sounds like. Did it just mess up again? Really?
Oh my gosh. What are you doing over there?
Nothing. I swear to God. Hold on. This is being dumb. Because I don't have it on my computer. I've got it open on my phone.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so he also covers one of the primary weaknesses of counterspells in 100-card singleton formats by filtering away the powerful but situational counterspells you're forced to play. The overall package has shown to be overly strong and not enjoyable.
Jeez.
Yeah, Wizards going deep. They don't like blue players. I mean, the most overpowered card in the game they ever created was an island.
Right.
So
I'm looking up something right now real quick.
oh,
I
did you just bring up an island on Gatherer?
I should have. That would have been funny. All I wanted to do real quick, I didn't think of this ahead of time, is just getting Gatherer up for us to use, because I just didn't consider it as something that we would need this episode. But we are, in fact, a podcast about a trading card game where the majority of what we talk about is that card game.
The cards.
So, my bad.
Man, can't believe you.
Oh no, this
Actually, I can believe it.
this show's going down the drain. Unsub.
Yep.
So yeah, Baral's really super powerful, and I noticed it. I can't really say that I noticed it a lot in our play group or anything, but that's pretty much because no one in our play group has really played a lot with a lot of the stuff from kind of the Kaladesh era. We just haven't seen a lot of it in our play group. I can't really explain why either.
I have a Brawl in my Niv Mizzet deck, but that's about it. Because he, makes my spells cheaper.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. So, next up on the chopping block here, we've got...
That's a pretty big block you got there for this one.
Yeah, you're going to need a big block for this one. And there's...
Preferably about 16 toughness.
What? How do you even spell Emrakul?
Emrakul.
Nope, that's not the card. Here we go. So, oh my God, what's happening here? What is going on with my life right now? So Emrakul the Ironsworn was also banned. Mm-hmm. And Emrakul is banned as a commander in the commander format that we play, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. And I think it's kind of easy to see why. Like, banned as a commander, at least, just because the implication of, taking an extra turn, it can't be countered, and that Annihilator 6
yep. Annihilator in general
is just insane. So
it is.
But let's read the article here. It says, Emrakul has shown her influence in this format the same as she has in many formats over time, primarily used in polymorph combo decks, and also providing an I win option for heavy green ramp decks. Emrakul is too reliable an avenue to ending the game without recourse for the opponent. While the simultaneous removal of Baral removes the current predominant use for the card, any cheap blue commander would easily fill that role, and opening up more late game interactions still means Emrakul warrants a ban. So they don't want this powerful of a thing to just no drawback. Once this comes out, it's not likely that I'm going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
They don't want...
What don't they want?
Oh, oops, I won.
Oh, yeah. Just for playing... It's the same idea as... Well, maybe even not, because I was going to suggest the combo of playing Avenger of Zendikar and then Crater Hoof Behemoth, or just a Crater Hoof Behemoth as a card in general, if you're at least a little bit ahead on board and everything. They're trying to avoid that. Incidentally, I will admit that I do play both Avengers Zendikar and Crater Hoof Behemoth in my Rashmi deck, and I'm really curious to see how it works out, because as I said before, I built that deck to be a little competitive, because I don't do that very often, so I wanted to see what I could do. So last up, we'll talk about the unbannings of Arkham Dagson and Yisan the Wandering Bard brand. And tell us about those. It's a short little paragraph there.
All right, so we're still sticking to be somewhat conservative with unbanning cards that we and would like to see how the format adapts before adding a slew of cards to the format. But neither of these commanders are obviously superior to the existing options. Arkham in particular stood out as weak, and we hope that this unban may open some additional space.
Yeah, so Arkham Daxton, I don't really have any experience playing with or against, if I'm
No.
honest. A
Just
very
play it
powerful
like an
card.
artifact
A
deck.
very powerful card for sure. Like, no arguments there. But on the other hand, we got a little bit of a taste of what Yisan the Wandering Bard was capable of.
Oh yeah.
When I say a few weekends ago, I used that a little bit lightly. It's probably like,
It's a couple of months ago.
yeah. So Colin has a Yisan the Wandering Bard deck. I don't know what inspired him to make this deck, but I was kind
Also,
of
I think he's trying to make it like the most competitive one that he's got.
I was a little skeptical because I honestly had no idea that Yisan had such a presence that he just could get out of control so fast.
Yeah.
But Colin proved that there's some crazy things that deck can do. So good on
You just
him.
got to make sure you have those targets.
Yeah. It's funny because he texted me for a while when he was building the deck day after day. We talked about, what are the good cards, or what are the good green cards, or what are the good green creature cards. And for a while, I wasn't exactly sure what he was making, but it became apparent once he actually told me. So yeah, pretty cool. And so that wraps that up. This article was surprisingly easy to read as compared to the other one we had to get through. So
We had to get through.
yeah, good on Wizards of the Coast media team for getting their English correct, I guess. I don't know.
Not putting commas in too many spaces.
Yeah. So the last thing that we have up on the docket today, and the namesake for this episode, is what's coming soon. I feel like, I think it might just be this year that we're really, really starting to see a crazy ramp up for new products that are coming out. Would you say that happened last year at all, or would you say this year's kind of the...
I think we started to see what was happening this year at the end of last year.
Right.
Because we started to see, more Masters product last year.
What's your
when did we-
opinion on Modern Masters, just as an idea?
I mean,
including Iconic Masters, including Eternal Masters, just lumping those all together as the
I felt
premier reprint set with Chase Mythics.
I feel like Eternal Masters was fun, as opposed to Modern Masters, which we have personal experience of cracking a box of.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel
and
like
being
it's a huge
very
lottery.
disappointed.
It's a huge lottery, no matter what with
But-
those sets, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind
Overall,
of
though, there's some neat reprints in them,
yeah.
but
I agree.
I'm not gonna go buy a $10 pack in the hope to get a $60 card.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm not gonna go buy a pack and hope to pull that damnation. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So what I was hoping, and this is just kind of looking back here a little bit, what I was hoping would happen was I was hoping that Modern Masters would be a set that we get every few years.
It was initially like that, but now,
The response was just so good or something.
yeah,
Because now it just feels now the reprints, there's not as much excitement for me personally. Even in
Yeah.
Iconic Masters, I was really excited when I saw Mana Drain. I was really excited when I saw the reprint of Horizon Canopy and
Yep.
Row of the Burn Willows and all those great cards and the new art that we're getting for some cards. But at the same time, I feel like I would have been a lot more excited if I wasn't expecting things along that level, along those lines, So for Modern Masters, when we first saw like the Tarmogoyf reprint, everyone went crazy for it. And then all of a sudden, the Tarmogoyf reprint became kind of the mainstay in Modern Masters. And then we saw Force of Will come in Eternal Masters. So at the end of the day, when it all is said and done and the dust has settled in the initial shock of seeing those Chase Mythics from Iconic Masters, I'm just left. I'm not saying disappointed because it's really awesome to get those types of expensive reprints back into circulation, get more stuff out there, get them more into the hands of the players. But I feel that the excitement that I probably had when I saw the original reprint of Tarmogoyf is much higher than when I expected some crazy reprint that we saw in Mana Drain. You know what I mean? So
Well, I want to see more sets like Conspiracy than Master sets.
yeah, some kind of alternate playstyle type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
like all of these sets that we're talking about right now aren't intended to be drafted.
yeah,
Let's just throw that out there.
yeah,
They're not intended to be opened. They're a well-made, quote unquote, drafting experience in a box.
yeah.
Pretty much what they are.
That's fine.
And with a bunch of reprints.
Yeah, that's fine. But we actually have quite the list here. Like, just to kind of go and scroll down. Look at all this. There's just coming in the next 6 months. We have a lot of stuff. So let's just start at the top with the gift pack, which
we had a discussion about this before the show started.
When I see this, I look at the packaging of it, and what it reminds me of is the Pokemon EX or GX boxes or whatever
I know
it
what
is.
you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
First thing I think when I see this is, that like promo pack you could buy at Walmart that had the foil hammer back Goliath or something from Lorwyn,
which
Hamlet back,
whatever. Which, by the way, I still see those at Targets and Walmarts and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And I hate that card.
Never going away.
Yeah. So let me go ahead real quick and get an image up here for you guys. This is probably the least prepared that I've ever been for a show ever. And it's a little bit unfortunate, but what are you going to do?
Okay.
So what I have
gotta have
here,
flashbacks somewhere. Right.
So what I have here is a Pokemon GX box that you can get. This is for Lycanroc GX. And you get, looks like you get an oversized card. You get the GX itself along with some packs. So when I look from this, and then I look at the way that this Magic the Gathering gift pack is structured, it seems very similar.
I'm going to point out, though, in that picture, just right underneath Chandra has the logo for Masters 25.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. One thing that I do have to say, though, is that the basic lands that come with these look great.
Yeah.
The art looks very, very good. So, I mean, I suppose it's gotten to the point where I have pretty much given up on full, like, commander decks having full art foil lands.
Yeah.
So I've just kind of started to look for normal types of lands, normal basic lands that I like the artwork of, and getting foils of those, getting 5 of the same foil for like $4 or whatever on eBay. Because it's odd when it comes to the secondary market of selling foil basics, if they're not just from a local store in a box that's saying foil basic lands, like pick up whatever, 25 cents or 50 cents each or whatever. When you get into specific arts, the price actually does fluctuate a little bit depending on what you want. So anyway,
I should have, when I was building elementals, I read elementals, and I got all my basic lands from Lorwyn, all the same art. Foils were not cheap.
Yeah,
I mean, like 35 basic lands at the price of whatever it was then.
Yeah, Lorwyn had some great art too. So just that set was a very awesome setting. Yeah. The setting of the set was very awesome. So, but let's actually get into what comes in this gift box. So you get a pack of 5 premium basic lands by artist Mark Poole, who is a really, really well-known Magic artist. And then you get 2 premium creature cards, being Metalwork Colossus and Karizev Skyship Raider. Why they picked those 2 cards, I have no idea.
Nope.
I truly don't understand it. And then 3 booster packs, 1 Ixalan, 1 Hour of Devastation, 1 Amonkhet, 1 Spin Down, and then an exclusive mini poster featuring art from Hour of Devastation. This retails for $19.99 in the U.S. So I just really don't know how to feel about this box. The lands are cool, and honestly, that's probably the part that's most exciting for me, are the premium basic lands, just because the art looks so great. And who knows, like, I don't know if these are going to be crazy overprinted and we're going to see these on Target and Walmart shelves for years to come, but maybe these basic lands will be semi collectible. I don't know. You know what I mean? So
is it better?
It seems so. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So as far as this goes, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I really like the idea of the holiday gift box. I really like the extra storage that it provides you. I use a holiday gift box for some of my extra cards just as it is, and I think it's nice. So, but it just seems like this is a more compact way for them to do it without having to have that big bulky box. I don't know if that was ever a complaint from anybody, but this definitely does seem to be going along the lines of those Pokemon GX boxes. I can't say 100% sure if there's any influence there, but that's just kind of how it seems.
I have one holiday gift box that just holds a bunch of random stuff in it. And then another one which I will be taking to the card shop soon, which is just full of basics and that I don't need.
What is legendary? What's the going rate for basic lands?
I don't know. I was buying and just giving them.
Oh, fair enough.
So
support your local hobby shop.
I made sure to look through everything and take out all the full arts. So
sure.
There.
Yeah, definitely.
And I still have 3 sealed in the plastic steel. 3 packs of full art basics. So,
geez, look at you go.
Yeah, right. 20 years from now.
Yeah, remember when those were worth money? When those fat packs?
Bucks?
Yeah, crazy. We had a whole episode.
Never forget.
Yeah, we had a whole episode on that. Yeah. So so the gift pack comes out October 2017. But then we have Merfolk versus Goblins, which is something that I know very little about, and neither does Wizards of the Coast because there's no artwork up here. So what are they making?
We're getting it November 10th. We're getting it in a month.
Yeah, whatever it is. So is this going to be? Do you think it'll just be mono red goblins, or is it going to be red black?
I hope it's mono red.
Because red black goblins is a thing, and I'm fairly certain that we're going to see blue green Merfolk.
Probably.
If it was just red and blue, I feel like it would be a little strange, just because remember when we had Jace versus Chandra, that was red and blue. So I think they wouldn't want to do something twice, given the contents of the decks are going to be very different. But
who knows?
I would love to see red black goblins versus blue green Merfolk. I imagine we'll probably see.
You could even do Bant Merfolk.
I actually love the idea of Bant Merfolk. I've actually thought of that. I wish there was a commander or a a partner pairing where both of the commanders are Merfolk. Like one is blue green, one of them is blue white.
By the way, you know what I never realized?
What's that?
We got these blue green Merfolk in Ixalan, right? Mm-hmm. We seen them when we returned to Ravnica. Mm-hmm. We've got that commander from last year's set. That's blue green. Yeah. And then back on Zendikar, we've got what's her name? That's a blue red Merfolk.
Oh yeah, you're right. So I guess Merfolk could be 4-color if you try hard enough. But the problem is, I think that the only red Merfolk that we have is Jorian. Right? Yeah. That's who we're talking about.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah. So
the one you made the sweet deck about.
Yeah.
The sweet Tiny Leaders deck.
The deck that just draws a ton of cards.
Yep.
for playing cheap spells. Yeah, that one. So yeah, I imagine that we'll probably see a reprint of a Merfolk Lord, just one of them. We'll probably see either Prime Speaker Zagana or Tishlana, or whatever her name is.
Tishlana.
I imagine we'll see one of them. As far as the red one goes, maybe Goblin War Chief, Goblin King. I don't know if that's due for
Goblin Rattle Master.
Yeah. What's the not Goblin War Chief, but the one that came out in the core sets for a while? Which one was that? He was a Lord, Goblin Lord. And that's not Goblin King though.
And it's not Goblin War Chief?
No, not Goblin War Chief either. I could look at.
I don't know then.
Let me see here. Goblin Lords, MTG. So I was thinking of. Oh, here he is. It's a Goblin Chieftain. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
okay.
War Chief, Chieftain, same freaking thing. Yeah, Siege Gang Commander. I imagine we'll probably see a reprint of at least one of the kind of premier merfolk that is played in Legacy a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little bit excited for that just because I enjoy the idea of
We
it.
could play 5-color merfolk. Because isn't Sig River Cutthroat a merfolk?
Yeah, he is, and he is blue-black, so.
So, yeah, 5-color merfolk confirmed.
Yeah, there you go. So, November 2017. Also, oh my gosh, we have so much coming out in November. What the heck?
Yeah, right?
Iconic Masters.
Iconic Masters pushed Commander out of its spot this year.
Iconic Masters Draft Like a Master on sale November 17th. We already have had a full spoiler of this. We see the Mana Drain. Ooh, man, look at these, like, the art of these guys breaking out of the art.
Oh, I know, right?
Bladewing, like Lightning Helix.
Let's talk about Bladewing
Show.
the Risen here for a second.
I love Bladewing the Risen. I love Rorik's Bladewing. I think that card's awesome.
So let's talk about his downshift in rarity.
Oh,
uncommon.
to uncommon. Yeah. Womp. Poor guy. So
he was printed at what, Mythic in the Commander set? So
well, I think wait, really?
I know.
But
his rarities don't matter in supplemental products as much.
All rarities matter. So
when it comes to Popper.
Let me go ahead and get old Rorik's up here again, just because I really want to show him off. Because as a card is one of those cards that I was really excited about when I was younger. Because when I was younger, to me, those kind of cards that appeared to have a really efficient mana cost for what they were, and that was just, it seems super powerful.
5 with flying and haste.
Yeah, and it was a dragon, which made it even cooler back in the day, you know. So that was one of the things that really attracted me to this card, but I never got it. I just never, whatever set it was originally from. Onslaught, yeah. And that's funny because I played during Onslaught, and I just never got one because, you know, I couldn't buy a ton of packs back then.
Yeah.
So, Rorik's Bladewing, 6 for 6/5 flying haste. I thought it was the jam. So, how do you feel about the Mana Drain reprint? Have we ever actually talked about that?
I mean, it's neat. I don't expect to ever own one.
Unless you pull it like you did that Mana Crypt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not me opening those packs, okay?
Well, then maybe you shouldn't be the one opening the packs from now on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean,
so...
hell, I wasn't even the one that opened the $10 Raptor card from Ixalan.
Right.
I'm not the one who opened the Invocation. I mean, the last good thing I opened was the Expedition.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
By the way, still want that.
We'll see.
So after Iconic Masters, Brandon, there's something coming out called Explorers of Ixalan.
Yeah.
What is that?
So,
I mean,
I wasn't expecting to actually find out what this was this week, because we were going to go into this, you know, being like, hey, what is this? What do we think it might be? But we actually got it revealed.
So
we still have the article open.
I don't have the article open up here for that. Can you link me that real quick? Do you have it on hand, or is it accessible for you real quick?
It is very quick. Yes, give me a minute.
Cool. So
fill the blank space.
What I really like about Explorers of Ixalan is I like it for the same reason, or I feel like I'm going to like it for the same reason that I like Plane Chase. And that's because it is kind of it lets you play. Yeah, it's a twist on the game that you're already playing. So you can just add it into whatever kind of format that you're playing, you know?
Just imagine doing this with Plane Chase and Arch Enemy and,
Yeah.
Vanguard.
So if you just kind of look here, run us through it real quick if you can.
So, from what we can gather without watching the YouTube video, is that basically there's these little tiles, and they have mana costs on them. You pay them to flip it over, and then it has this little thing to do on the back of it, and then you do it. And then you get to keep going until you find the lost city of Arazka.
When I first saw this, oh, is it the first person who finds Arazka wins?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I believe so.
So, and as we see here, we're going to be having a pirate deck. We're going to be having a dinosaur deck. We're going to be having a vampire deck. We're going to be having a merfolk deck. And what was the fifth one? I already forgot. The Sun Empire, right?
No, that's just the 4.
Oh, it was 4? I thought it was 5. My bad.
Dinosaurs count in the Sun Empire.
Gotcha. So, and when I first saw the tiles and the way that the kind of game board, quote unquote, was laid out, it reminded me a lot of Settlers of Catan, just because of the hex tiles,
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be a ton of fun to play.
I mean, one of the biggest things to look at is, you'll never have a same game, even if you play it 1v1.
I almost want them.
Never going to hit the same tiles again.
Yeah, I almost want them to just continue. I mean, at least for Rivals, I would kind of understand if they didn't do it moving forward after the Ixalan block, just because there's like the theme of finding the treasure and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would really like it if they just make one for Rivals too, giving us extra tiles or extra game mechanics that can just go along with this. So in my recommended videos down here at the bottom, there's an Alpha Investments one with a funny thumbnail. So yeah, Explorers of Ixalan is just a different way to play. No new cards. It's funny.
But some good reprints though. Like seriously.
Yeah, 4 60-card decks. 20 double-sided tokens, 50 game tiles. That's awesome.
Yeah.
40 counter pieces and 4 deck boxes. MSRP $64.99. That is steep.
Yep.
I would almost. I mean, 4 decks.
Yeah, and we're getting some good reprints.
Yeah, I would kind of prefer to just be able to buy the tiles on their own, which kind of like we did with Plane Chase. I imagine that'll probably be what happens.
Yeah.
If we even do that, just because how are we going to do this, so far away?
Yeah,
we have to get real creative. But so yeah, Explorers of Ixalan, I'm pretty excited for that. And then after that, we have From the Vault Transform.
And what's in From the Vault Transform? Who knows?
Well, it's also coming out in November, so
yeah, right.
It's iconic cards that utilize cards that transform, not necessarily the transform mechanic, but just like the planeswalkers that flip, werewolves, obviously, lands that flip. Yeah, so there's.
Ooh, well, no.
There's quite
talking about flipping. You could talk about morphing.
I don't think that's the same.
Yeah.
But that's coming. That's going to be $35.99. That I think that's pretty par for the course MSRP for From the Vault sets, which no one ever sells those at MSRP. So
no,
we'll see what they ended up at.
Unless they change the foiling on them, they're probably going to be terrible.
It also just depends on what's in it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Breaking into December, we see Unstable will be coming out, which is going to be pretty exciting. I went to the most localist of locals near me, the closest hobby shop to where I live, and they say they will not be hosting events for Unstable. So, but I'm sure that there's somewhere I could find here in Colorado Springs to do that.
I mean, at the very least, buy a box, and then we can save it and crack it open when we're all hanging out again.
Yeah, and do a fun draft or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. It's funny because I don't think that this is going to be. Initial impressions, I don't feel like this is going to be one of those sets that gets printed and then just kind of fades into obscurity and then box prices go through the roof. I feel like just the way that that Magic the Gathering is being printed nowadays, that we're going to be fine and we'll be able to find boxes if we really wanted them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're gonna be able to find them for $89.99 or whatever, but
But the way that this unset is being,
the way it's being handled, yeah,
yeah,
I think it'll be manageable.
yeah. Plus, I mean, everybody wants those sweet borderless lands. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the prices of those look like.
I have the island as my just set background on my phone.
Oh, nice.
And then when I open it, it's the mountain.
So, January of 2018, we will see Rivals of Ixalan, which is going to be the second set in the Ixalan block. And here we have a whole slew of dates when all of the things related to this are going to be happening. I'm not really going to go through them just because there's a lot, and it's whatever, really. So, this is what I am most excited for right now.
Yep.
I'm a little bummed that Unstable had to bump it out of the way, and that we have this other supplemental product in the way, but at the same time, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll get over it.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Wasn't Battle for Zendikar worth it when it came out?
Yeah, Battle for Zendikar was fun. Looking back, I'm not sure how good of a block that block actually was, but it was fun. And then in March of 2018, see, look, here's what I'm saying, man. October, November, December, January, and then March, we skip February and go straight to March. It's I haven't looked at the exact dates, but who knows? Maybe it's like end of January or
you never know.
Beginning of March type thing.
Stuff that aren't announced yet.
But Masters 25, another Master set that we don't need, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have much to say on it, but I mean, again, that's also in the way of Dominaria.
Yeah.
Which I feel like there has the potential to be
one of the best sets that has come out in recent history. Because apparently, I mean, from what I've read on Reddit, Dominaria is supposed to be very, not lore focused, but focused on history.
Like of Dominaria or of characters of Dominaria? That's really cool because, I mean, Dominaria was the plane for a while.
Yeah.
So
it was the plane.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what happens. Part of my childhood is in Dominaria, just because that's where all the characters were and all the fantastic beasts and where I found them and all that kind of crap.
Yep.
You know what I mean, though? I feel like it's going to be even more nostalgic than we saw for Battle for Zendikar.
Yeah.
And so I'm really curious to see what that has to offer.
But then another kind of exciting thing happening in July, the core set comes back.
The return of the core set that they said was never coming back.
Yeah, right.
It just seems like it was an experiment. They said, we're going to try not having the core set, and they were like, crap, we need the core set.
Yep. We need a place to reprint all the answers.
That's not a master set.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe with the return of the core set, we'll see less master sets.
Maybe.
I don't know. And like in my experience, core sets have generally been they've been fun sets.
Yeah.
There have been reprints of cards that are desirable, along with new cards that are generally really cool. Like that's where we saw all the Titans the first time, which was awesome. And that's when we started seeing
Planeswalkers.
Yeah, Planeswalkers and stuff in the core sets. Just like I don't know. I'm really glad that they're coming back.
I mean, for the longest time, you had a Johnny, Jace, Liliana, Chandra, and Garruk as the 5 Planeswalkers you would see in every core set.
Yeah.
And it would be the standard 5 that weren't broken or crazy or anything. They were just good.
Yep. And then we have some dates along with those. MSRP $3.99, which if you sell booster packs for $3.99, go jump off a bridge. But yeah, that's what's coming. And there's a lot of it. And that's what I wanted to touch on this episode was just the massive influx of new products, supplemental or otherwise.
Yeah.
I really hope that this is just kind of a period of really little bit of a testing the waters period for Wizards of the Coast where they're saying, we have a lot of ideas. Let's see how much we can get out and just see what happens. And so, go ahead.
I want to say new conspiracy this year.
In 2018?
Because we didn't have one this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was last year. I'm not being crazy, right?
I think you're right.
Okay.
But
no, I think it was this year.
Take the Crown?
I don't know.
Take the Crown wasn't this year. Was it?
No. That was definitely last year.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, comment, subscribe if you know.
See, this is what happens when so many sets come out.
And I mean, maybe this is the perfect example. Stuff just kind of starts to blur together. Like, for instance, this is even just talking about main sets. When it comes to Kaladesh Amonkhet block, that all just blurs together for me. It might as well be one block as far as I'm concerned.
Fun fact, I was listening to Mark Rosewater's last Drive to Work podcast. He said initially they were flipped. Amonkhet was first and Kaladesh was after.
Oh, interesting. Was there any sort of reasoning on why they changed it?
Lore.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that.
Fair enough.
More set up.
Yeah. But that's what we got, man. That is this week's episode of Commanding Magic. I'm finding us doing more and more news episodes more frequently, and I'm totally okay with that, if I'm perfectly honest. Because just for a while there was nothing. And so maybe in a way, this huge wave of products coming out all the time and things going on in different formats is kind of doing us a little bit of a solid. Just giving us things to talk about. And it's been really cool because we strive to be more than a channel that just does spoilers and stuff. We want to keep people up to date on the goings on and things like that. So it's been some good talk. Again, look forward to gameplay coming back and deck techs and things like that. We are hard at work trying to figure out how we're going to make that work. We need to have a solid bit of time to sit down and actually test ways to make it and make it quality.
I mean, if somebody didn't go hiking last weekend.
I did, man. It was a great hike. I went hiking with the family up at Mueller State Park. It was supposed to be, it was like, oh, we're going to go hiking on Sunday because it's really nice and we're supposed to get 3 to 6 inches of snow on Monday. And we got a light flurry. I don't know. I guess the storm system moved overnight and whatever.
Yeah.
A little bit disappointing because I like the snow. So, but that's going to do it for this episode of Commanding Magic Season 2. Follow us on social media, like, comment, subscribe on the YouTubes. Let us know how you feel. Let us know how you don't feel. It's all the same to us. We love your feedback. Interact with us anywhere that Commanding Magic is available. But yeah, thanks again for listening. Yeah. And for now, it's going to be Travis and Brandon returning to Ye Olde Command Zone.
I think we're ready.
Starting the show in 3, 2,
1.
Anyway.